All right, to watch this video for Friday, April 26th. For those of you that were there today, this is my first full day back trading since I started the moving over a week ago, but I'm not going to be there full days until Tuesday. Try to trade the mornings. But today I was able to be there all day. I mean, still a lot of interruptions here and still some things going on, but man, I'll tell you what, I actually took a pre-market trade this morning and lost a couple $100. So I started my day down a couple $100, and then the first trade I take is at, if you were in chat, was at PYX, and the bottom, just a total rug pull right after my entry, and took like a $700 something hit. So I ended up the day down $900 something, and that was 2 trades in, and I just quit. I was there all day, and I was finding things, and I think I had a couple nice posts in chat. But I quit trading because in the past, you know, I would be down 300 or 500 or 700 or whatever in the morning, and I would feel compelled to have to get it back. You know, A+ setup, D- setup, didn't matter how ugly it was. I'm taking sides, and I got to get back to even, right? And that is, I'm actually really proud of myself for what I did today. I stayed all day. I threw a couple bids out, didn't get filled, so I didn't stop trading, but I didn't have that desperation where I had to get back. In my mind, my account was just $900 something less for tomorrow morning, right? And that's my new starting point tomorrow. So if I could share anything with you in this video before I get into the watch list, it is that if you start your day red and you have and you're kind of close to your daily loss limit, and believe me, everyone should have a daily loss limit. If you're kind of close, get that desperate feeling out of your head that you have to get back to even. Tomorrow's another day, and I honestly don't even think I traded poorly. I liked the idea of the trade I called, but as Wayne always says, you know, rug pulls are gonna happen. They don't happen that often, but it was an absolute rug pull. And I can't say, well, I averaged down, I broke all my rules. I didn't do any of that, right? I had the rug pull, I hit out, and then I just said, hey, we'll get back at it tomorrow in my brain. And I never found anything that I was able to get into after that. But again, if I could give you any advice, it's do not feel desperate to get back to even ever on any given day, right? Accept a loss if you're having a bad morning and just let it go, because I can't tell you how many times in my trading career I've been down, say, $500, right? Which to me isn't a big deal. Tomorrow's another day, but I'd be down $500 in the morning, and I would get that desperate feeling. So I would start taking size or averaging down or something, and then the next trade's a loser, and before you know it, I've had a day in the past where I was down 5 figures. When it all started with me saying, I can't lose $500. I'm going to, and getting that desperate, got to get back to even. You don't have to get back to even, right? You have to stay within your daily loss limit and then have the fortitude to understand that tomorrow's another day. So there's nothing worse than ending the day going, God, please let me go back to just being down 500. I realize now that that's not a big loss at all, right? If you've gone into a trading death spiral and ended up down 5 figures or something, or whatever huge is to you. So anyway, that's my little mini lesson for the day. And I'll be right back at it tomorrow. I won't be trading desperate tomorrow morning either, but I'll make sure that I'm focusing on A+ setups. I certainly didn't want to take this week off and then come back and start with a red. Actually, I made a few bucks yesterday, but then today, kind of an ugly red day. So I certainly didn't want that to happen, but it also incentivizes me to get back and make sure that I'm focused on A+ setups, because a couple of people pointed out after the fact that the call I made, it had only traded 60 or 70 or 80,000 or whatever. It was trading really thin, and I've been away from the market just long enough to get me to where I'm rusty enough that I looked at everything. I looked at the chart. I looked at yesterday's action. I looked at potential catalysts above, and I had it all figured out, except I forgot to look and see how much volume that thing's traded, right? So when you get out of sync, when you get out of touch with the market, when you step away, you really need to come back into it slow and observe. So, and I kind of broke that. I got involved too soon, if you ask me, right? I should have just kind of laid low and watched things trade for a day or two, because you really do get out of sync with the market. And I have noticed that just like before I left, things are really thin and there's not a lot of volume out there. So I know there's a lot of people out there frustrated with the market right now. There are times to put your foot on the gas, and there's times to trade smaller and make sure you understand we're in a low volume environment right now. All right, anyway, that's my little babbling session for the day. I do not have a big list for tomorrow, but here we go. NBEV, NBEV, had nice news today, ended up opening at 595, went up to 613 before selling off and closing at 581. Decent volume today. I like this over today's high. Anytime, like if it happens tomorrow or anytime next week, I like it over today's high, over 613. Having said that, maybe it goes sideways for a while and then pushes through 6 with volume, and then we know we've got another catalyst of 613 just above. So I definitely want to watch this around the whole number 6, see if we get a clean setup. RBZ, now this is one stupid looking, ugly, goofy daily chart, but, and for those of you that weren't in chat today, I'm on the mic, and remember, I'm probably not going to trade anymore, in my mind, because, I had a kind of an ugly red day, and I didn't want to get to where I was past my daily loss limit. So, but I did mention, I said, it looked about like this. For those of you that weren't in chat, I said something to the effect of, hey, this RBZ, believe it or not, as much as I hate this stock, it's kind of interesting over the highs. Right? It's kind of flagging, and you have a couple catalysts above. And then it goes through that high, which was 589. So when it hits 590, look what happens. And again, it was just one of those things. All I could do was laugh, because I kind of had the idea, but I was already talking myself out of trading anymore, and it did that. And I would have been nicely green on the day after that, but I didn't take it. All right. Anyway, it held up pretty well and actually went a little bit higher in after hours. So when you look at the daily, you say, well, that's just the ugliest chart in the world. But then when you go to intraday, say 15-minute candles, and I'll zoom in to get that chaos out of there. You had a high here, another high here, kind of flagged, and then today ripped above any of these recent highs and held up well. So this RBZ, when it gets going, as you can see here and here, which it got plumb stupid both of those days, but I still think it's one to watch tomorrow. All right, CGC, one of the old pot stocks, kind of had this gap up here, sold off, then ran the next day, and really kind of a nice flag right there. So let's watch that, see if we can break out of that area. INNT, nice relative volume. Let me zoom in so you can see it a little better. INNT, nice relative volume today, kind of closing above, I don't know, maybe a month's worth of trading. So I want to keep my eyes on that. Not sure what's up with that one. DSS had this pop yesterday and then closed pretty close to the highs today. And then OMC back on bounce watch. Right into that buy zone now after the gap up and the 2-day run. Lower volume pullback right into that buy zone we look for between the 8 and the 20-day moving average. And then lastly, I want to show this AXTI. Kevin P in chat pointed this one out. It had really nice relative volume. I'm showing you 2-minute candles, but this is all of yesterday's trading. Look at that volume today. So it pops up, and then right at the half number, we love half number, whole number inflection points. Kevin P points this out. Hey, what about AXTI through the half? Wayne's on the mic, this is for those of you that weren't there, and said, hey, I like this over the half because it might make a run at the 200-day, which I'm sliding the daily over now. So through 550, the 200-day oftentimes can act as a magnet, which was at 570, and you can already see, I'm giving away a secret here of what happened. You can already see it ripped through the 200-day, but nice teamwork between Kevin P and then Wayne on the mic passing the idea along. And you can see what happened. So it didn't take very long. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe 25 minutes. It went all the way to 590 before rolling back over. And maybe, decent volume in that one. Maybe worth watching tomorrow. But really, I just wanted to give props to Kevin P and to Wayne and, point out the teamwork in there. That's a very small list for me, but I looked at a lot of charts and there's not a lot going on right now. Again, we'll quick glance at the SPY. We're just, again, all the way back up to all-time highs are right at it. It would be unexpected for this to have climbed up like this and get to all-time highs and just rip. So I expect some chop for quite a while, pullbacks, whatever. Having said that, I don't make my living off predicting the overall market or what the SPY is going to do. But I certainly think with this long climb back up to all-time highs, we're going to be chopping around for a while. So keep that in mind and try to find the high relative volume plays and then take them if you get an A+ setup. That's my best advice. I'm done babbling. We'll see y'all tomorrow.